I think I would say to anyone starting a podcast, hello, what's the coconut tree? What's a Shoomby? Like, what language do you speak? CPR, sort of help, a wet towel. Every part of this story is 100% true. It was a big prank, guys. I'm never doing it again. Sorry. That's my dream date with my Shoombys. It's like, I can't believe you post yourself looking like that on the internet. I was like, I still get DMs like every day asking to bring back the podcast. So I'm a massive Law & Order SV Guru fan.
Would you rather?
Oh my God. The coconut is rotten right to the core, I feel, with this question.
How badly does this Stephen need to be back on the pod?
3, 2, 1, let's get into it.
You're listening to In the Dome with Soph and Belle, two podcast fans turned founders building the home for podcast communities.
We're taking your favourite hosts out of the studio to unpack why they got started, the fandom, the stories, and the connections that make podcasts so powerful.
So powerful that we decided to build a company around it.
Let's get into it. All right, well, here we are in the Dome with Soph and Belle. Belle, how are you feeling today?
I am so excited for this year.
Why are you so excited for this year?
We have none other than Miss Gabbi Whips joining us. Thank you so much for coming on, Gabbi.
My pleasure.
Hello, Miss Diva. For those of you who are not familiar with this face, Miss Gabbi Whips is a fabulous content creator based here in Sydney. And speaking of Sydney, here we are again in Arm's Length, fabulous cocktail wine bar in Potts Point. Shout out.
Shout out.
Massive shout out.
You'll see her a lot on TikTok, on Instagram, and of course, the Baboomba Podcast, which came out about a year ago now, where Gabbi spills the tea on all things her content creating and everything in between. Belle, what are we going to hear about this episode with Gabbi?
We'll be diving into the behind the scenes of the Baboomba Podcast, the Shoombys, how they came to be, and you might be in store for a little treat at the end as well. So let's get into it.
You did come today under specific guidance by me to wear this outfit. Do you want to explain why I asked you to wear this outfit?
So this outfit holds a lot of sentimental embarrassment value to me because I arrived at a influencer event where I thought the dress code was wear your favourite sweater. So I naturally whipped out, it was Christmas in July themed. I bring out my Harry Potter Christmas sweater that I bought at Harry Potter World in 2022. And I was feeling hot to trot. I was like, I am so on theme wearing an ugly Christmas sweater, even though truthfully, I think it's really cute. I arrive, everyone is in ball gowns, and I'm in this with jeans and Ugg boots. No. It was so embarrassing.
Brilliant.
I left after 20 minutes. I was like, I have to feed my dog. But I also already used the excuse that I was late because of my dogs. And they just like knew I was a psycho, I think. But yeah, so now whenever I wear this, I sort of think of that little memory.
I love that. But I feel like those events can get so stuffy. So you'll probably like...
Yeah, how many influencer events have you been to, Belle?
Yeah, like, you know, off the top of my head, from what I've gathered.
Yeah, from what I've gathered, walking in and seeing Jade was in this beautiful red dress, drop dead gorgeous, and I was like, oh, she was beautiful. She's like, I love your sweater. I was like, oh,
you're like, you are
thanks.
so kind.
Yeah, it was really kind of
so
thoughtful.
kind.
Everyone kept coming up to me and saying, you look lovely. I'm like, oh, I feel like we're all sort of in on trying to make this girl feel better.
Yes.
Yeah, it was massive coconut.
It's not a coconut here.
And encouraged.
Jinx, buy me soda. But for those of you who do know Madam Whips, you would be very familiar with language like Shoomby, Shoombalina, Baboomba, Clock the Baboomba Pod. And I think that's a really good place to start because if you are on TikTok, it would take, a matter of seconds for one of those words to come out of your mouth. And we love the power of, using words to bring community in. But I think you will be able to say it better than the both of us. Where did this word come to life? How did we start calling our listeners, our community, Shoombys, Shoombalinas, everything in between?
It originated from a road rage incident with my mum. I was in a Hello Kitty dressing gown.
As most things do.
As most things do. Year 6, I believe. I was homesick from school. We're driving back from the doctors and we pull up at a red light. All of a sudden I hear this kind of aggressive beeping. I'm sort of in my own little coconut tree. Anyway, we get through the lights and Mum and I are like, I wonder what all that beeping was about. A old man pulls up next to us in the middle of the road, stops dead. I'm like, so kind of the cars are driving around us. But anyways, and he immediately winds down the window. Mum's like clocking this coconut and he goes, you could have killed me. Boom, crash, explosion, blood, like doing hand actions. I was like, okay.
So like full narration.
Full narration.
Boom. Wow.
Boom, crash, explosion.
He said boom, crash, explosion?
Boom, crash, explosion. Verbatim.
That's where it comes from.
And that's where it comes from.
Fuck it.
And that's it. I was terrified. I was crying. I made Mum drive like an hour to get home. We were 20 minutes from home. And then it kind of went from boom, crash, explosion to boom, then baboom, then baboomba, and then from baboomba to boombies, then from boombies to shoombys. And that's how Shoombys was born.
It's really
and
like
Baboomba.
hearing Picasso's process
Yes,
in
thank
creating
you.
the art that he
Thank
does.
you. I really
That was
appreciate
sort of what that felt like
Truly.
to me.
Such an evolution. Really
Such
took
an
us
evolution.
on that journey.
Yeah, thank you. I wish that man knew the impact he had on my life and my
Truly.
language.
You know what? Shout out.
Shout out, old man that
Shout
was
out to
having
the
a
man.
moment.
We now know the origin of the name Shoomby. Describe to me, like the people that are engaging with your posts that love you so much, and there's a lot of them, myself included, Belle included. Like, who are these kind of people? Like, I want to know them.
I feel like they're just me, sort of duplicated, which is probably someone's nightmare out there, me cloned. But I just think it's like a girl that's my age. But then I also have a lot of male Shoombalinas who love those divas. I feel like I know a lot of my Shoombys faces as well because I love interacting with them online. So in my head, I just picture them. And I don't know, I feel so comfortable with my audience. It feels like just my friends is who I picture really when I think of the Shoombys.
Storytelling, the gift of the gab, as they
The gift
say.
of the gab.
You got it or you don't. And you, my friend, have got it. Where did that start?
My whole life growing up, my parents, like there are so many childhood videos of my mum would call me actress. So like I would be such a drama queen and mum would be like, oh, you actress. And it was just this big thing my grandparents called me, like sort of my nickname. I loved drama, but I really didn't like scripted content. I've always been better thinking on my feet, which
Off the
also
dome,
some
you might
off the
say.
dome, you might say. Wow,
Wow.
clock it. That was really good.
Whatever.
Wow. Whatever, it's fine, just chill. My whole life I've been very theatrical, over the top, dramatic, and involved in heaps of drama in primary school, sort of coconut. And then at school, I had this infamous story, which is the Slushie coconut, which was basically, long story short, I slipped down some stairs and a slushie went up into my eyes and it just led to this whole train of disaster. And I would tell that story all the time at events, and my parents' friends would ask me to perform it, be over at their house for dinner.
Truly one of the greats.
Truly one of the greats. And so it sort of just went from there. I've always loved telling stories. And also that's like the joy of telling a story. Like you don't have to have something really insane happen to you every day. Like sometimes I'll just wake up and think someone's in my house and I'll make a 3-minute TikTok out of me convincing myself there was someone in my house, and there was no one, of course, it was my dogs. I've just always loved entertaining people and making people laugh. I've said story a billion times, clock it.
Take a drink every time Gary says story. The story, to be fair, is famous now in my house.
Yeah.
It's my sisters and I
It's such
will
an honor.
quite literally garner the family together and like, well, all right, watching Gabby's video now, please. Take
Everyone
your
in.
seats. Please be quiet. The show is on. Because it is brilliant. And I think that's how incredible you are at storytelling as well.
Thank you. Also, my Shoombys love when I retell my dates, which I've only ever been on 2 dates now. Bomb drop. I've got to release the information about the second date. And also another one when I thought someone had slept in my car and my friend had just left their clothes in my car. That one did the rounds because the Shoombys lived through it with me posting, crying, being like, I think someone slept in my car. Like I feel really awful, but I'm really scared. My friend's sister had seen the video and was like, can you tell Gabbi not to throw out those clothes in my favourite trackies? And so the Shoombys really lived through that story with me. They still mention it. They still comment on videos.
Note to self, never leave clothes in your car.
Never leave clothes in my car because I'll forget
Yep.
and think that someone's broken in and slept in my car.
I'm curious how you sort of went from TikTok onto podcasting. Was it another way to connect with your audience and the Shoombys?
Mostly because the Shoombys were asking me to, and as a way to have long form content and have more of an intimate relationship with my followers. I thought you had to do some big coconut, like it was so stressful to me. But then the reality was I just got a microphone, I plug it into my iPad and sit on my bed and talk to it for an hour. So it wasn't as stressful as I thought it would be. My microphone that's in the shape of an ice, it's a massive coconut, it's a massive circle diva. My mum got it from work. She's
Brilliant.
like, can I have it back? I'm like, no, I'm a podcaster now. But it looks like in The Incredibles, that mechanic creature. That is what my microphone looks like. I'm not even, I'll post some proof. I'll bring up the receipts. It's crazy. When I would film my videos, they would go for so long. It was before the 10-minute feature was available. So I thought,
So they introduced the 10-minute feature for
literally,
you.
so
Okay,
my dream date, because obviously I love to talk. I truly kind of can't stop. Could talk to an orange about an apple if anyone knows that reference. Doing my podcast, I felt safer in a way, and my community felt like my real followers that were really invested and interested in my life. So I felt very safe talking to them very openly and candidly.
I love what you said before about how anyone can really get on a mic and tell their story and jump on a podcast. It really was a matter of sitting on the bed, bit of a VM moment,
Massive.
couple takes. I believe it was a one-hit wonder.
It was a one-hit wonder.
It was a one-hit, which is
like
insane behaviour.
Real.
It was-
Take us to your bed. Like, how was the vibe of that very first record?
I felt like I was on a first date or something, like I couldn't talk. It was just me in my room, but I was so flustered Also, I feel like I had this very toxic mindset of thinking of all the people I know in real life listening to it. I wasn't even thinking of the Shoombys. If you listen back to my first episode, it's very awkward, I think, because I'm really just sort of retelling how I got started on TikTok, and it's not really my classic storytelling or what the podcast then became. I also had big plans to film it, and then of course my camera ran out of battery, and it just was this whole stressful scenario. Kept pushing back when I was going to release the podcast because I would then re-listen to it and get the ick. I really struggled to get out of my own head. I would say to anyone starting a podcast, just try not to think about the people listening to it. Just record something that you're proud of and that you know your followers will, like people that actually like you will enjoy. I feel so raw and honest in it. So it's like very personal to me, and I'm like putting it out online. And I think because I'm recording it alone in my bedroom talking to my walls, I forget that other people listen to it.
It's like another night for you. Really.
Literally just another night for me.
Also,
I love doing a photo booth therapy session with myself. I love just recording myself.
You're only human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then the fact that I was doing this and it was actually going out to people was really scary. I was excited, but I was really nervous the first time I recorded.
How did you get out of your own head and just kind of lean into it?
So the feedback from like the Shoombys really helped. Like I got so many beautiful paragraph messages, which to me, I was like, wow, the fact that people take time out of the day to type up a message like this to send to me really made me feel like there was a purpose of putting out the podcast. Because I think the thing that I found hard, to be honest, with podcasting is you don't get that feedback initially. Whereas when you post a video, you get heaps of comments and likes and engagement. With the podcast, you don't really know what people are thinking for ages unless they like reach out to you. Clock it.
Crazy.
So
say that, Gabby.
it is really, if I don't get feedback immediately, like laughter, I really struggle because I then get really in my head. Like some episodes I would delete then because I just was like, I got the ick. And people would message me like, I loved that episode. I'm like, well, I had no way of knowing. I think I struggled with using that. And that also was a bit of a deterrent with the podcast.
For anyone that didn't know, the podcast came after, but you already had this platform. You already had this really big following on Instagram and TikTok. And you were getting quite vulnerable, quite personal on that media format as well. So to think that the jump to podcasting, you kind of had that same apprehension, that same fear. Why do you think that is?
I think the longer form content and the fact that I wasn't editing the videos, and often with my TikToks, still to this day, I will watch them 30 times after posting them. I just sit in bed and just watch it again and again and again. I don't know why. It's like an impulse. I have to do it. And I can't even describe, I don't even care. Like, it's not even like I love watching myself and like, this is so funny. Like, I look so good in this video. It's just like, I have to watch it a billion times. Like, I didn't do something bad in it, or there's not some coconut happening. Whereas the podcast's like an hour long. So I couldn't just sit and re-listen to it. And I also get really bad like post-yap anxiety, even on nights out and stuff. So I think with the podcast, I was like, oh God, did I talk too much or did I say something embarrassing? And TikTok's so quick to me and I don't even think about it anymore until my grandma the other day was like, I can't believe you post yourself looking like that on the internet. I was like, oh, she's like, you look so sick. I was like, oh, thanks, Grandma, sending you love. Shout out.
Shout out, Grandma. Really interesting how you bring up that feedback from Shoombys being like such an important part of the process for you. Is that how you get episode ideas? Like what sort of role does the Shoombys play in that?
The Shoombys play a massive role because I really do the podcast because they want it. To be honest, everything I do is really for them. Even going on dates was so scary to me, but I went on them because I knew the Shoombys would love the content from it.
And we did.
And
that we did.
She delivered.
I hope.
Yeah. Do we have an update?
There are so many coconuts. We'll be here all day. So you're kind of going to have to tune in, I think, later on, and I'll update you on that.
Clock it.
So the Shoombys would not email me. No one emails. I never look at my emails. I have like 50,000 unread. My mum finds it so upsetting. I'm like, it's all ads. Sorry. It's not real people. Sorry.
It has gotten ridiculous.
It has.
Yeah.
Anyway, 3, 2, 1. The Shoombys would like comment, can you please do an episode on this? Or if I would talk about something really briefly in a TikTok, I would get a comment saying, can you please talk on this further in the podcast? I still get DMs like every day asking to bring back the podcast. Anyway, we'll get up more on that later. And also I would do stuff like I would want to hear on a podcast. Obviously there are so many podcasts now and so many people, I've realized we all live kind of the same lives, but there are some topics that I feel like aren't really talked about or talked about from someone that is like me. It's interesting to delve into what I would want to hear.
Anything specific that you wanted to cover on the pod that you wouldn't cover on social media?
Body image was one I really wanted to talk about because that's something I've really struggled with my whole life, and I found it really difficult online because the people that would talk about body image didn't really look like me, sort of that mid-size range. I don't know. I have started talking about it on TikTok, but I find it really scary. On the podcast, it was a bit safer, again, because I actually didn't get comments immediately, whereas on TikTok, I feel you can sometimes get onto the wrong algorithm and you know. And then another one I really want to talk about is like going to a private girls' school, because I feel like there's a lot of things about going to a private girls' school that isn't really talked about online. Like obviously there's a lot of memes and jokes around it, but there's a really sort of like dark underbelly to even just going to an all-girls school in general. So I really wanted to talk about that because I think those are really important discussions.
You're so right. They're such a universal experience and you don't get a nuanced sort of view of them a lot of the time. So if you can come up with those apps.
Well, I mean, not to take it to a somber note, but trigger warning, the Baboomba Podcast is no longer with us right now because
it's on a hiatus.
It's on a hiatus. So I guess the big question on everyone's lips is why?
As we were talking about earlier, the one take wonder was really stressful because if I said one thing wrong or went on a tangent that I then didn't want to include, I just was like, great, I have to record the episode again. And I think as well, the format of the Baboomba Podcast with it being just me. See, I don't really listen to any podcast where it's just one person. Yeah. I really like the banter that comes with people. And even with my comedy, quote unquote, not having a partner to bounce off sometimes, I struggled with just recording by myself and thinking of things to say and making an episode go for an hour. Even though I can talk literally to a table for hours, it just became really overwhelming for me in terms of the editing and the recording, doing it by myself. Obviously, it's trying being an influencer for a day. I really do want to get back into recording because I did love the podcast and I felt like I really got to open up a lot more and connect with my audience a lot more. 3-2 Gungi.
I think it's really good to hear a bit more about you and how you've gone about content creation, whether it be on social media, on the podcast itself. But how about you as a consumer? Like, are you a fan of podcasts yourself? Are there any communities that you feel are a big part of the fandom or anything in that space? Like, let's flip it a bit.
I'm such a fangirl on so many things. There are so many content creators as well that I fangirl every time I see them at events. When I met Indy Clinton, I was shaking. I couldn't breathe. I had
understandably
like a massive coconut. In terms of podcasts, I love a lot of American podcasts like Ride. I'm obsessed with Benito. We're on a first name basis. Benny, obviously. We're on a nickname basis, actually. And Mary Beth, I think they're the coolest. I also love overcompensating, and I'm like a massive fan of his TikToks as well. So that's kind of natural.
Yes,
progression.
totally.
I love Brittany Broski. I love Caleb Heron. I think he is the funniest person alive. Every single clip I see of him on TikTok is reposted. He is hilarious. And my best friend Paris, it's her favorite podcast. She's watched it literally, I'm not even joking, over 30 times repeat. She knows everything.
He's got the brilliant like dry wit, which
literally
is the secret sauce. If you got that, get out.
Yes.
You're done.
You're done. So good. I also love Therapus. Just because I love Jake Shane. And I feel like his conversations are so authentic and feels like a conversation, not really an interview. Call Her Daddy I do watch just because of the guests. Like I loved when they had Mariska on because I'm a massive Law & Order SV Guru fan.
How good was it?
It was so good. Also Shameless. I'm all over Shameless. Like more on TikTok. I'm really not a very good long form consumer. I really love short clips. I have a very bad attention span. I'm addicted to TikTok, unfortunately.
It's very true to form.
Very true to form.
It's your 9 to 5.
So that's kind of how I clock into all my podcast coconuts is through what they post. But then often Shameless will leave me the cliffhanger, so I have to go and listen to the episode. Yeah, I feel like those are like the podcasts that I typically clock into.
Who do you think's doing it really well in this space, building community and really building that fandom?
I think Caleb Heron is just incredible. I think he's so talented and he's just really, even like that whole, they're all like a big group in my head, like Benito Skinner, Mary Beth, Caleb, like, and they were all in overcompensating. And I also love Charlie XCX and she's in the coconut, and Terrence, Benito's boyfriend, works with Charlie. It's like all connected to me.
Yeah, it's a world wide web.
And my friends and I are so invested in their universe, like Holmes and everything, like we're literally all invested. So I feel like they've done a great job of even connecting all of their communities together.
I think there's such a lore, right, in fandom and this universe and world that they bring people in. Yes. I mean, do you think that's sort of part of it? Like, what's the advice you'd give for people who want to start a podcast, start a community? What would be the first steps there?
For me, the Shoombys, the fact that they're called Shoombys, they like really get it and they really get my humor. Like I genuinely feel like I'm friends with my audience. I have such a beautiful relationship with them. If people don't watch my content and come onto my videos, they're like, hello, what's the coconut tree? What's a Shoomby? Like, what language are you speaking? Whereas the Shoombys are like, you must be new here. Like, we know it. So that I feel like they feel like they're a part of it with me. Just making them feel like they know you personally and are sort of in on an inside joke with you. I think that's my big thing is I have so many inside jokes. Like even this jumper is an inside joke with my audience. Just be as open and authentic as you can be. Even calling them Shoombys instead of being like, hey guys, like just something that isn't so generic.
Totally. It's your daddy gang.
Yeah, it's my daddy gang.
Put it on a pillow.
Put it on a pillow.
I love that. And I think that you do such a brilliant job of that. In fact, in our last episode, we spoke about how valuable it is to coin that term for your listener, your fan, whatever it is. Because immediately you feel like you're really part of something beyond just like, I'm watching Gabby's TikToks.
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm watching it as a Shoomby with all my other Shoombys and we're doing the same thing. I think you do that really, really well. So
thank you.
To all those out there, clock it. This is a pro. Now, unfortunately, we are coming to the end of our Yip Yap Yup.
So sad.
And we have a big question to finish on. But before we do, we did have a very big fan of yours write in a question.
I am so excited about this.
Yeah, it's a good one. This is from listener Pop. Shout out
Pops.
Pop's a big fan. We'll be doing family dinner later.
Can't wait.
For now, Poppy would like you to know, and I want you to take this really seriously.
Oh my God, I'm
this is a
terrified.
fun pod.
By the way, I'm
having
smiling
fun.
hilariously.
Yeah.
We've had a great time, but let's actually lock in for a second. Gabby, would you rather do the Bay Run, hot, sweaty day with Conrad?
Oh my God.
For like entire Bay Run, really hot and sweaty, and you're wearing a grey tee?
Who's the second option? I already know who it's going to be, do I?
Would you rather go get Yochi, amazing bowl, completely paid for with Jeremiah?
I feel sick to my stomach.
Like, take your time.
Is it running the bay
like
run, or is it walking?
Strava. Like,
Ooh.
Strava is on.
The coconut is rotten right to the core, I feel, with this question. Poppy, this is so nasty and cruel. You're number one op. Kidding, loves Pops, loves. Wow, okay. I think the answer, I'm sorry, guys. It's going to be Conrad. I'm sorry. Because then he's a medical coconut. So if I collapse, hello, CPR, sort of help, a wet towel, maybe his shirt's removed. I've got big plans and visions. I'm sorry. It would be the run with Conrad. Because I also think if I said, oh, I have to stop, I'm not feeling very well, he'd be like, yeah, let's go get your sugars up, and we'd go get the Yochi or an acai bowl. Sorry.
True. Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
It's
He's
just like
medical.
a lot thinking about him just pulling up his sleeve and just like pausing his Strava or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't run. So like whatever
I don't
people
run
do.
either, sorry.
how
I
that
actually
works.
do.
They're like,
Did the city stuff.
sorry, what?
Oh, okay.
Walked it in the rain. I didn't run. It was a lie. It was a big prank, guys. I'm never doing it again. Sorry. Couldn't walk the next day. Woke up, immediately could not move. Mum was like, oh, my mum was 60. She went for 2 walks that day after. I was like, oh, sorry. It was really humbling. Wow. It's a big wake up call. I did
Proud of
nothing.
you.
Sorry.
Proud
Thank
of
you.
Final question for you, Gabby. If you were to do a meetup, an event, be in a room with all the Shoombys, walk us through it. What would you be yapping about? What are we drinking? What are we listening to? What are we wearing?
Wow, my dream date is meeting up with the Shoombys. I really want to do it so badly, but I'm terrified. I'm like, do I bring cupcakes? We do like at like a weird park. Like, I'm really stressed about it. I think about it all the time. Truly, it's one of my like nighttime visions. You guys do that?
Very.
What are they called? Scenarios?
It's
for
an
those
imagine.
sleep?
Yeah.
Massive imagine. Okay, in an ideal world, let's be really real. I would rent out the
Play
entirety
with
of toddies in a massive way.
Are we
because-
Roselle? Are we City? What are we doing?
I don't know. I haven't thought that up. I think Roselle, because there's lots
Okay.
of space,
Okay.
big
Yes.
rooms, big locations. So everyone would be kind of there having that classic margarita and a porn star martini. P.S.
Very.
martini is my mum would say. My favorite drink, my drink of choice. What's your drink of choice? Anyway, sorry. I kind of live in references if you can't gather. 3, 2, 1. Back to the coconut at hand. It would be, I'd want to do like a fancy dress because I love dressing up. And when I have my New Year's Eve party every year, I always make the theme all black. So I feel like I would do that for the Shoombys. Like everyone has to wear a black outfit.
Love.
Just because I love cohesion. It makes me feel really satisfied in my eyes and just love it. Listening would obviously be One Direction, 1975. And I think I would just like go around all the tables and we just like chat about everything. It would be so fun. It would just be like hanging out with my friends, basically.
When are we doing it?
Well,
Let's make it happen.
please give me a date. Or actually my other dream date is like renting out a massive movie cinema and going in matching tracksuit sets or matching pajamas
Or matching sweaters.
or matching Harry Potter sweaters. Bring your favourite sweater and I rock up in a ball gown and say him back. Now you guys know. Now you know how I feel. And we would watch just like all my favourite movies. Sorry, Enola Holmes, Love Actually, Cheap by the Dozen, and Harry Potter Marathon. That's my dream date with my Shoombys.
That sounds so
I am
perfect.
So there for that.
Get it in the calendar.
Could you tell us a Slushie story?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so everyone knows
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've had a last minute entry,
Yes.
a question entry, and I'm so excited that it was asked. Gabby, please walk us through the infamous, the notorious, the very much loved Slushie story.
I hope it lives up to the expectation. Usually this involves a lot of physical comedy, but we'll do it seated today. Everyone snuggle up because it's a long one. 3, 2, 1. At my school, we had this thing called Commerce in the Quad, where the year 9s would do commerce, or it was year 10, whatever. I think it was the year 9s. And they would have to sell things and make a business. When I did it, I sold like milkshakes, which is like milk with syrup. Anyways, 3, 2, 1. It was a very, very hot day. We got an email sent out. Slushies in the Quad, lunchtime. It changed my life. I bought my $1 coin donation and I was feeling good. But my classroom was so far away. So naturally, I'm counting down the seconds till the bell's over. I run and put my things in my locker. I run down to beat the line because I knew there was going to be a big line for the slushies. I get there. There's still quite a few people ahead of me. As I'm slowly moving up the line, I finally get up there and I go, 1 slushie, please. It was then sort of dawned upon me that the slushie was actually just an ice cube in some orange cordial. Oh, so immediately I was extremely distraught, but I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's a really hot day. I'm dripping with sweat. I've got a Sula. This is lovely. I'm so happy with my little orange slushie. I start walking towards to go down these stairs. As I'm walking down these stairs towards my friends, immediately my foot goes shoomba and I launch up into the air. I'm not even exaggerating. Every part of this story is 100% true. The slushie, of course, as I'm landing, has stayed airborne where it kind of was in the cup. And it comes cascading down my face into my eyes. So I fully can't see anything. I've got like orange slush all like dripping down my face. I'm so baffled and dazed, sitting on my bum on the floor, trying to be like, oh my God, what's just happened? I haven't even been able to drink the slushie I lined up for. This group of older girls approaches me and goes like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, yeah, all good. Pop up, like cannot see a thing. Like my vision is so blurry from like all the chemicals in cordial. I then go to put the cup in the bin because my slushie's gone. It's all over my head. And the older girls go, oh, sorry. That's actually just for the art rooms. You can't throw that cup out there. I go, yep, all good, no worries. I'm so embarrassed. I'm beet red and also orange because I can't see a thing. As I'm tumbling off, I hear there's this big group of the really popular year 11 girls. I'm in year 8 or year 7 at this point.
Ooh,
the year
terrifying.
11 girls would wear pink ribbons in their hair. We had to wear white or navy. They wore pink. And they also wore the rock school shoes. Did any of you wear those with the high heels?
I love them.
I really wanted them. I was never allowed. I was like,
Big fan.
I was never allowed. I was class.
It definitely shouldn't have been.
Yeah, and they had like their sports bag instead of the backpack. Like they were the cool kids. As I'm tumbling by, for some reason I hear the words, which I believe are, yo gabba gabba. Has anyone ever referred to me as yo gabba gabba my entire life? No. No one has ever called me yo gabba gabba. And I'm not sure why I thought the year 11 group that had no idea I existed would call out to me yo gabba gabba. So I start spinning around and I do the Wiggles coconut for some reason. Never in my life have I done this, but I do it for them. So as I'm spinning the slushy coconut in my eye, I do this. The year 11 stare at me as I'm spinning and they're like, who the hell is this little diva? Had no idea they'd not called out yo gabba gabba. I completely imagined it. And so I keep spinning. And as I'm spinning, I trip because I've got the slushy coconuts in my eye. So I run forward and stumble and kick one of the year 11's laptops across the quad. It goes cascading like a skipping stone. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to kill me. I then like bounce off the laptop and bump into a pillar. And then from the pillar, I'm bounced off and I land smack bang against the lockers. I'm not even exaggerating, like fully Jesus on the cross. I'm like, I'm Catholic. I can say that. I'm fully here like this. I turn to my friendship group who are sitting right near and they're like, hey, where have you been? I was like, are you serious? I've just been through a serious trauma. They had no idea. They didn't even clock me slamming against the lockers. And that's the slushie story. I never even got the slushie. And it wasn't even a slushie. It was an ice cube and cordial.
Oh my.
I hope it lived up to your expectations,
You can
guys.
see why that is a family favourite. Like,
It is a
take
fan
away
fave.
your Love Actuallys, take away
Yeah.
your Mamma Mia's.
Yeah, this is a classic.
This
It's
is
a
a
Gabbi
classic.
show.
It's the show.
Yeah,
It's the show.
that is the slushie story.
Iconic. I bet that's just like gone on to live in your school's legacy forever and ever.
It really has.
Yeah.
I'm not even, the way I bounced off the pillars to another pillar to the thing to bounce against the thing, I've never experienced anything like it. It was like my body wasn't even my own. It sort of just went on its own little journey.
Hardcore.
And just quietly, I mean, anyone with us right now,
Yeah.
how badly does this diva need to be back on the pod? Like, that was just very, like, way too natural, way too, like,
Yeah.
is ever to be a sign? I feel like this could be the
This is it.
sign.
I know. I feel like it's gotten me back into it.
You
in a
back
really
into
big
it?
way. I'm really back into it.
I can see you tinkering.
Yeah, I'll charge my iPad tonight, guys.
Gabbi, can we just say thank you so much for joining us in the Dome today? That was
I loved it.
hilarious. I mean, I know we get to see you speak about, you know, your day-to-day a bit as a content creator and see you on social media, but to understand a bit more about what brought you behind the mic, why you did it, while you might potentially be returning to the game is very, very cool and very, very fun to see. You are brilliant. If you don't love her already, guys, Gabbi Whips, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you get your favorite content creators. If you want more, please follow us on all our socials at Home of Dome on TikTok and Instagram. Please like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your pods. And most importantly, join our waitlist at homeofdome.com because we've got some really exciting things in the pipeline and you don't want to miss it. Wait, that was so much liquor!
That was amazing.
I think we need to unpack this process.
I think so.
Yeah. This podcast was recorded on Gadigal land. We would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional owners of this land and the oldest storytellers in the world. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.